have you seen the biggest area of growth?
Yeah, I think he's had a good handle on the offense, and I think over the years you've seen him produce really well. So I think the biggest change right now for him has been just some of the mental stuff and handling um, just different situations that can happen in a practice, that can happen in a game, and he's kind of taken that to a different level of either how he reacts to or how he doesn't react to some of the things that happen or um, situations that can come up. I think that's been the biggest change.
I'm sorry, Joe. What's
Yeah.
exciting you about Quinn? Has there been any moment in camp or the off-season program where you and Mike and Frank have sat down and said, we have something here? Has there been that moment of excitement with what you've seen from a rookie?
Yeah, I mean we're excited about what he's doing, and every day he comes out, he gets a little bit better. He puts really good stuff on tape. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. When he does make mistakes, we're able to get them corrected, and he's willing to work. He's working on the little details that we're asking him to work on. Happy with where he's at.
And from a physical attribute standpoint, what he does well, what makes you think this guy can be a good NFL quarterback in time?
Yeah, I mean, he's still obviously there's a long way to go for him. We're excited about where he is at this point, but there's still a lot of obstacles to overcome and things to continue to improve on. But I just like his demeanor. He's a very calm, cool, got a little swag about him. He doesn't get rattled, so that's a really good starting point for a quarterback position. He sees things really well. He can anticipate really well. And I think those are some of the things that I've liked what I've seen from him so far.
And two last things on him. Arm strength, how would it be compared to the average NFL quarterback? And accuracy, those two issues.
He's been really good in both of those. His accuracy has been good, and his arm strength. I mean, he's not Brett Favre, Matt Stafford in that category, but he has plenty for what we need.
Henning.
And AJ, I know he's doing great as a punt returner, but he's the guy we have playing a couple spots, and probably the most improved out of the rookies so far. Early evaluations, but again, it'll be fun to see these guys against Chicago.
Isaiah had a question.
Yeah, but no, that was the DOE's question.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my
Robert,
question.
what have you seen from your slot receivers so far?
Yeah, I think all of them are working hard and buying into the whole thing, and all the receivers understanding that we're trying to build the best unit. And in the pass game, they know they got to get open at the appropriate time, and sometimes they know they got to run for the love of the game to help their other guys get open. And we talk about getting the assist. We're always talking about, hey, you got the assist on this play. But they also have all bought into the blocking aspect and understanding that the run game is obviously very important, and getting to those blocks on the nickels and the linebackers are going to be very important.
And Malik Washington, what have you seen from him? Because he's a guy he's a tough guy. He's a guy who does value blocking, and we've seen him on the return, so we know kind of his skill set. What have you seen out here in training camp?
Yeah, Malik's done a great job of really applying what our fundamental drills and applying it when we go one-on-one, 7-on-7 team. His releases have gotten better, and the type of routes have gotten better to create separation. And he's a guy, he buys in every day and works hard.
Jaylen did a great job in the offseason of coming back. He's head and shoulders above where he was this time last year. Again, that rookie transition to the NFL is different and it's difficult. And he worked his tail off at it last year. I think what he's done is he's benefited from now everything is familiar to him. There's nothing new that he's experiencing now. And so he's able to relax a little bit. He has confidence that he knows our plays, our system, our language, our assignments. Now he's got to go execute without some of the pre-snap things kind of weighing on him a little bit. He's much more confident in what he's doing. And I think we've seen that so far in camp.
Areas of improvement that you want to see from him?
The biggest areas I think are consistency. It's just, and that's with all of them. We want everything to be seamless. I'd love for them all to be able to perform at the same level, interchangeable pieces, and they just go in and do stuff. And it's establishing consistency, and it's just establishing, of what he's going to be and what we're going to get from him every game.
Eric, how has Alexander Madison been able to have the camp that he has had? Is this what you guys expected out of him when you brought him in? I don't predetermine expectations on guys. I
I think that's limiting to guys. So what I do is I put them in and let them showcase what they can do, and they'll determine it. The more you can do, the more reps you're going to get, the more exposure you're going to get to different things. And if you struggle in certain areas, then we probably won't ask you to do those things. But I don't come in saying, well, he's only going to do this and he's only going to get these 10 reps in practice because that's all he is. Because the reality of it is, based on the roster, you may need him to do more. And so if you haven't prepared him to do more, then is he at fault or am I at fault? I think I'm at fault then if I haven't prepared him and haven't exposed him to everything. Because if we need to go in a game and he's got to carry it 25 times in the game and play the whole, I don't want that based on just short yardage reps, because that's what we said he was when he came in. Make sense what I'm saying there? Yeah.
My bad for
No. No, it's a fair question. But again, I think it's just, I think guys establish roles and you have to give them the opportunity to establish their own role.
Is there something you wanted to focus with Devon this offseason? Like last year, it was the pass catching that he added into his game.
Yeah.
You wanted to focus on?
I think the biggest area with Devon in developing this year is continuing to build on all the little things, whether that's a pass game, whether that's protection, whether that's little things in the run game. It's all those little details, because he does kind of touch all the different areas, but now it's making sure that he's gotten those looks, different coverages, different assignments, different protection looks. All those little things now is the area where we're trying to really just keep touching on things and keep developing him.
From my perspective, it seems like that first team line has done a good job of communicating and passing off, blitzes and all the stuff that Weave throws at you guys. Is that something that is the result of the chemistry of all the OTA and training camp reps you guys have banked together, or is that inherent to the players themselves?
Well, I think there's a lot there of us spending a lot of time together, and just we have a lot of open dialogue in the room. I think that obviously I have to be the one that initiates it and has the starting point of the dialogue, but players need to be able to communicate, right? And so that way I can understand how they think, and then other players understand how they think, And the good thing is that you bring that up, is that we've had a lot of guys, we've had multiple players play with the first group, right? And then different guys play with the second group, and building that chemistry with guys that may not be viewed as a starter, and they're getting opportunities to be with the ones and show what they can do. And so we've had really good communication all the way around with that.
With the two young guys on the left side, how valuable will the leadership of guys like Brewer and Daniels be for Jonah?
Leadership is always really good. Leadership is always huge, and they're the ones that build that chemistry. And then the two, Pat and Jonah, have done a great job building their own relationship and making sure that they're clued in with each other and that their communication is solid.
What did you guys, what do you know about Ifedi, the new swing tackle player?
Glad to have him. I'm excited to have him, and I know he's played a lot of football, so that's always good.
Brew was down first. He comes back now. AJ's gone until probably week 1. Just how does that first team O-line build that chemistry despite the injuries?
Like I was just saying, we're always communicating in the room, right? We're doing stuff outside the meeting room, inside the meeting room, the constant dialogue that's built with all of us, and having a starting point of how we want to think and how we want to talk and how we want to approach things. And the center is the one who's got to orchestrate all that, and they start that communication process. And when they're on point and the centers are on point with how, as a coaching staff, we're seeing things, and then it gets communicated properly. And so it's able to blend with whatever we have to do with who's in the game.
How did, over the course of time, how long do you think it takes to build chemistry? Have you ever seen it just click in the exhibition season and like, okay, we got it?
Oh, it's a constant evolution. It's a constant evolution. And then again, it's we're 2 weeks into it, so we have training camp for a reason. And those are all the reasons why we have it. You know what I mean? For the fundamental aspect, the development of each player, and the communication with the players and coaches. And so I like where we're at because we've had some continuity with guys, and Brew's been with me for a year now, and so our communication. He's just in my office just now, so it just communicate. So always having that communication, that open dialogue for everyone to constantly grow.
Mike said that Austin had worked, from his time away, he'd worked his way back to a point where he surpassed the level he was at last year pre-injury. Is that like an assessment I guess you would agree with? And if so, in what ways is Austin better than he was last season?
I think that, he was trending in a great direction. And just his leadership, his maturity, are unbelievable. And then on top of that, just trying to take his run game to a new level, and then obviously getting better with his hands and pass pro and showing that. And his feet have always been really good, and all those things were just trending really well.
How would you evaluate Aaron Baldwin's training camp?
He's doing a really good job, just like the whole room is. I think everybody in the room is trending in the right direction. Like I said, good, bad, how do you value that? How do you evaluate that right now? That's another 3-hour discussion to have, successful, unsuccessful, because there's so many different variables, who you're playing next to, who you're going against, all these things. But it's a standard of work, right? And are you getting better from the day before? Are you responding from something that went bad? And are you getting better? Would you be viewed as someone would say it wasn't a very good day one day, and the next day is a better day? Well, that's great if somebody does that, right? If they don't do that, then okay, why? Is it coaching, right? And so it's all about their development every day and the process of it every day. And so the style play and everything else, that's what I care about right now to evaluate how guys are doing. I think the whole room is into the style of play that we want.
What would you tell Savai Naya about how to approach his first joint practice? I'll be there with you guys next, is it Thursday? Friday.
Yeah, everything with preseason all the way up is just constantly talking about the process of what you want it to be like for a game, all right? And then understanding that you're going out there to play football, something you've done your whole life, right? Against another opponent, but you've been doing this your whole life, and you've been prepping for games your whole, or however long he's been playing football, okay, whatever that is, but you guys get what I'm saying. And so it's going to be very intense, but he's already an intense person. He's already a very focused person. So I think he'll be in a good place mentally where he's got to be.
Is the technique and the rules for trench play and joint practice typically similar to what we see on the
Yes,
field too?
very similar.
I should not see, unless it's an act. Unless
Should
there's
be
a lot of
very similar, just like
it
we're
should
practicing
be-
against
it
ourselves.
should be safe. It should be clean.
Yes.
Do you meet with the Bears D-line coach before the joint
We'll usually have a conversation just to talk through anything that we need to talk through. So.